Hey everybody, welcome back. James here again with you, and today I'm going to be comparing the Venturi Avenger rifle and the Venturi Avenger Bullpup configuration, both in .22 caliber. Now, essentially, both of these are the same exact rifle, but there is something that sets them apart, and today I want to find out what that is. Now, again, they both have the same barrels, almost the same internals. My rifle is the very first revision of this rifle when it came out, but the Bullpup and the newer revisions of the rifle are identical, except, again, this one being a Bullpup configuration. So what I'm going to do is shoot them at 50 yards to get them both sighted in using the same exact ammunition, the JSB FX 15.89 grain, and the same CARM magazine, and chronographing the whole time at the same velocity of 950 feet a second at the muzzle. So I'm going to get the scopes dialed in at 50 for both guns, and then bring it back to about 35 yards and shoot again to see how big of a difference there is between each configuration of each Avenger. Now the rifle is set to 5.5 turns in at 2200 psi on the regulator to achieve the 950 feet per second, and the Bullpup is 2 turns in at 2200 psi on the regulator to get the 950 feet a second. So I'm going to go ahead and get set up at the bench here and turn the camera on downrange at 50 yards, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so I have the magazine loaded up here. Start with the rifle configuration, 50 yards. Got the FX pocket crony down here at the muzzle, so you'll be able to hear it.
939.
Probably just because I aired it up here, I didn't let the reg settle. There we go. Dry fire it for a second. Now I gotta move my scope up. Got my plumb line down there.
953.
Okay, now I just gotta come over because I'm on my slug tune.
$944.
Come over a little bit more. So this one should be money.
949.
We're on. I'm gonna go ahead and take 2 more shots to confirm.
946.
I'm gonna go ahead and lower it just a hair. I'm gonna make sure it's dead bull. Okay. A little dusty. Guns have been sitting for a while.
$956. 953.
Can't see where it's hitting at. The sun ain't giving me the light through the cardboard pizza box.
951. 953.
I see where it's hitting at now.
958.
There it is.
$956. 900. 56.
Moved it over too much.
900. 49.
Oh yeah, we're on. All right. Now you guys see there that the guns are on at 50, like both shooting the exact same velocities too at the muzzle, just two different configurations. So now I'm gonna go ahead and get the mag loaded up again, and I got a target at 35. I'm gonna show you guys what these guns do at 35 here. All right, let me go move the camera and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back on the bench here and I got the rifle up first. Again, using the same ammo, shooting the same FPS, using the actual reticle and the scope for the dead hold. I want to see here, take about 3 shots at 35 just to take an average. Holding crosshairs, left side target.
900. 39. 900. 60. 900. 53.
All right, that was the rifle. Now it's time for the bullpup. Again, both these were sighted in at 50, as you've seen. Dead hold.
900. 58. 900. 56. 900. 53.
Pulled that one. Jeez. I haven't shot this bullpup in a while.
900. 51.
Here we go. All right, let's go take a look at the targets here. Okay, 35 yards is up first. Now I don't care about the grouping. I care about the POI, and that far left one on the bullpup, it was a pull. So you could see that the rifle has a higher POI compared to the bullpup. Then you go down here to 50. They're both spot on. So, what does that mean? That means that the bullpup rifle, the trajectory of the bullpup rifle goes straight up to meet the crosshairs. And it's because of the scope height above the bore, and it's so far forward that the pellet is still climbing. It does not cross the line of sight twice like a rifle does. And again, both of these were shooting 950 feet a second at the muzzle using the FX pocket chronograph, the same pellets, same magazine. The settings obviously were just a tad different because each rifle is a different revision. My rifle is the first one of the shipments that they sent out, and the Bullpup is the newer revised version, and that's pretty much what you're going to get power-wise out of the newer Avengers. Besides the aesthetics of the Bullpup, which I do like, you get the adjustable butt plate and a couple little features here and there like the Picatinny rails and all that stuff. Essentially, the rifle has a 2-0ing system because the scope is so far back on the gun itself behind the barrel, whereas the barrel is behind the scope on the Bullpup. So what is happening again is that the trajectory of the projectile is coming up to meet the reticle, and that's how it is up to the 50-yard mark. And on a rifle, it goes over the line of sight twice for your 0. On the second time, that's your 0 at the farther range. If you see what I'm saying, I'll try to put it in graphs in here so you could understand it a little bit better. So the Bullpup configuration rifles and the actual rifle configurations, in my opinion, definitely have their place, and they definitely each have their own uses. Now, the Bullpup for me would be a great gun close range because your projectile is always going upward to meet your line of sight, your center of your reticle. If it's dialed in at a certain range, it's always going up to that point. Past that point, it starts going down. But if you're going to be small game hunting like I do, or some close range target shooting or whatever, the Bullpup only uses a 1-0 system. Again, because the barrel's so far back and the scope is on top of the barrel forward. Whereas on a rifle configuration, the barrel's forward and the scope is back, causing the trajectory to be a lot of climb in the projectile downrange. But anyways, I thought this was an interesting little topic that I wanted to do a little video on, and I hope you found it interesting also, because again, there is not much different between gun to gun, besides the fact that one is in the Bullpup and one is in the rifle configuration. And that's just up to the person shooting to determine what each of these rifles, or I should say guns, benefits them. So I appreciate you watching as always, and again, I hope you've seen and got something from this video. I hope to catch you on the next one. As always, hit that like button and subscribe below if you haven't already. Thanks again for watching.